Whistle. I will be your sixth grade math teacher this year for the Falcons team. In this video, I'm just going to be going over our syllabus and giving you a little bit of information on our classes. So first off, this is a picture of me and my family. Like I said, my name is Ross Sissel. This is my 15th year of teaching. I've been 12 years in elementary. 11 of those were at Chin Elementary. The last 3 years have been here at Lakeview teaching 8th grade algebra and math, and the last 2 years doing 6th grade math. This is my wife, Bridget. She is the counselor over at Congress Middle School. It's kind of cool because a lot of times we'll have kids transfer to Congress or from Congress, and so we kind of have that connection where they know who she is and I am. The kid in the middle, that is my oldest son, Eli. He is 9 years old. He'll be a third grader at Renner. This one is Bennett. A lot of times we call him Benny. He is 7 years old. He turns 8 here in the middle of September. He'll be a second grader at Renner Elementary. And then Peanut down here, that is my youngest one, Jude. He is 6 years old. He'll be going to kindergarten at Renner. He just turned 6 here in June. As you can see, we're at a baseball tournament where Eli's team won the championship. All my boys play a lot of sports, so I will be busy and on the fields a lot. I think this season, Eli's playing on 2 baseball teams, a football team. Bennett's doing baseball and football, and Jude's playing baseball. Also here at Lakeview, I'm being the assistant to the athletic director, which just means I'm going to be at a lot of you guys' sporting events. So love sports as part of my family, part of who we are. So kind of a little bit about me. All right, let's talk about a classroom. When you guys come to class, what do you need? First thing is you're going to need to bring your Avid binder every single time. When we have our Avid binder set up, we'll have a section for math, and that's where we're going to have our goal. That we're going to look at our goal every single math class and tracking our data. Pencil and pen is something you need to bring. I prefer a pencil in math because if you make a mistake, it's easy to erase. If we use a pen, we scribble, and then we have a mess of our paper, and things don't stay as organized. Especially if you're working on a long equation and you do a pen, you almost have to restart the whole thing. Where pencil, you can erase just one little mistake. Composition notebook, something like this. This is going to be huge. We might either put an anchor chart in here, or this is going to be this year where you will show all your work for your math homework. I will have a video showing you how to set this up and how to use this. And then lastly, you have to have your laptop because you're going to access your notes and your homework through your laptop. All right, the math series. So we use Big Ideas Math. I do have a real textbook. If you prefer a paper copy textbook, you're more than welcome to have it. You'll have to let me know. I'll check it out into your name. But honestly, everything is online. This is what it will look like when you go online to Big Ideas. There's another video I'll show you to get online, and I should be helping you here at school. But this is what it will look like. Mine might look a little different where yours are just rearranged. But Dynamic Classroom is where if you go into our lessons, you'll be able to watch videos, answer your questions, and check your answers. Kind of just all the interactive things through a textbook. The e-textbook is your textbook just online. There's no interactive. It's just I see what's in my textbook, but it's on the computer. The other little components are things that we might get into, but nothing we have to get carried away with right away. In progress assignments, all your homework will be here in Big Ideas. I'll assign it to you, and you'll have a couple tabs. So it'll say like to do, which means it is due right now. There's a due date. It should be being worked on right now. Then the next one will say like late or overdue. And if you've passed the due date, it's saved in that folder. And then you have another tab that says completed. So once you've submitted things, it's in that completed folder. Sometimes people, for their learning goal, want to go back and see what they got on their homework, and that's where you can find that. Here's what your Dynamic Classroom looks like if you access Big Ideas online. You'll see over here's your little guide. This is lesson 1, or chapter 1, lesson 1, powers and exponents, and all the parts that we go through. Our notes and our direct instruction is going to be based off the lesson. Example 1 is going to be myself or another teacher teaching it to you, modeling it. This is how we do this. Then the try it is where you will try it yourself or get a little support doing it. And we'll do that throughout the chapter, and then we'll get to the homework. You'll see if you're doing dynamic, it's cool, it's interactive. I can click on this vocab word, and it'll take me to the actual definition and an example. Down here for example 1, you'll see it says write each product as a power. Here's the first example. If I click on the video, I can either do it like a PowerPoint where it just comes up, or they actually do a video. A voice is telling you, and then this part is popping up explaining how they got their answer. It's actually pretty nice. To be honest, you for the most part won't have to use our dynamic classroom. You can if you need to go back and get help. But for the most part, all your notes are going to be through me, through Edpuzzle, and I'm going to be doing almost the exact same thing that they're doing here on Big Ideas. So talking about our notes, I will provide you paper notes, and that's what we'll keep in our Avid binder. Anyone that is online or virtual, I'm also sending the paper copies home to you right now for the first chapter. When you go on, our notes will look like this. You'll always see what lesson we're on in the top left, what the topic is, and what our learning goal is. And then I try to organize them pretty easy. You'll have our key ideas, and then example 1. In the notes, I will be modeling how to do example 1. It is very important that you follow along and you copy what I am doing. That way you can look at your notes when you need to work on the problem and see what were the steps that Mr. Sissel used. The try-its, they're just the questions. I will have you attempt to answer it, and then I will come back on and tell you the answer, and you can compare, did you do it right? The thumbs up, sideways, and down, I always ask after every single little section that we're at, how are you feeling and what questions do you have? This year with our hybrid and online learning, it's very important that on Edpuzzle, we'll get to that later, that you're very honest with me, because that is where I'm going to be able to help you. You're going to do your notes on yourself online, and then when you come to class or we meet on a Zoom, I'm going to address those questions. Where are you having troubles? Edpuzzle, like I said, when we log into there, you'll see something like this. You might have other classes that you have that you're using Edpuzzle, but you'll have your assignments that are in progress that are due now. And when you click on this, like this is from lesson 9.5, chapter 9, lesson 5, you click on it, you can kind of see even the thumbnail. There's a video of me there, and then there's the notes, and I'll be going through the notes with you. And you're going to be watching the video, doing the notes, and then every now and then I pause, and there's a question there, and that's where you will have to do your work, and then you'll type in your answer, and Edpuzzle will tell you if you're correct or incorrect. We'll get more into Edpuzzle very shortly. Actually, you'll be doing it right now for the syllabus. Homework. All right, so every single lesson we have will have a homework. Now, you can call it homework, you can call it assignment, you can call it chance to prove myself. I always just say homework. It does not have to be only done at home. If you're at school and you have time to get it done, yeah, you can do it at school. Homework is just an assessment on our lesson. Do you understand it? You're showing me what did you learn. So every single lesson will have a homework assignment. It is so important that you show your work, and like I said, you'll be showing all your work in here. If you do not show your work, you will not get credit for the homework assignment. Math's way too easy that I could copy the answer off someone else since it's just a number. I could Google search it and just have Google tell me what the answer is. I could use a calculator and get an answer and have no idea how I got it. Or I could just randomly guess a number. So math this year is not really about your final answer. It's all going to be about your process. You have to show me your thought process and how did you get to your answer. Even if you have the wrong answer, but you show me the process, you're doing better than someone that just gives me an answer. Like I said, your homework, we already looked at big ideas. All your homework is on big ideas. On big ideas, though, there is a feature, and I'll show you here in a second, that you have unlimited checks. I expect you to have 100% on your homework, and it's because of that unlimited checks. So say your homework is 10 questions. You should, when you submit your homework, get all 10 questions correct. And the reason is, here's a question, and you'll see it says, like, what's the absolute value of 1/3? Now, you guys probably won't know this yet, but the person put in 1. Now, once you put your answer, before you just go next and submit, they went right here and it says check. And when the person clicked that, this red bar came up with a red X on it, or a white X in a red box, and that means that answer is incorrect. So what we're expecting you to do this year in math is, I'd have my notebook, I would have showed my work, I put in 1, I check it, it's wrong. Okay, I can look at my work, see if I did something wrong. Next to it, I'm just going to draw a line in between, and I'm going to rework it. See if I find a different mistake. Oh, I got a different answer. You can change your answer. Before I submit everything, I can delete this one, put a new answer in, and check it. If it's wrong, I'm going to do it a 3rd time. I'm asking that you try every question 3 times. After that, I don't want you spending 30 minutes on a question. After I've attempted 3 times and I just can't figure it out, skip it. Go to the next question. Can you get the next one? And I don't want you to leave it wrong. I do not want you to submit your homework. Then when you Zoom with me or you come to class, you're going to be like, hey, Mr. Sissel, on number 6, I had troubles. And I'll be able to look at your work and see how you attempted it 3 times. And I'll be able to say, oh, well, here's where you made your mistake. We'll work on it together. You'll redo it. Go in here, change your answer. When you check it and it's correct, you'll get a green line with a green check. Then you'll go on next and you'll be able to submit it. That way, you should be able to get 100%. So if you think about it, if I can't get number 6 right and I skip it and I get all the other questions right, just don't submit it. And then when you come to class, we'll work together. It'll take us like 30 seconds to 60 seconds. You'll change that answer and then submit. Okay? Grading. All right, so the daily grades, that is going to be whether you watch your Edpuzzle video and answer all the questions, and if you're completing the homework on big ideas. Grades are 0, 1, 2, 3. To get a 3, you have to get 80 to 100% correct for your homework on big ideas. Well, I already told you I expect you to get 100%. The only way you turn in anything with less than 100% when you have unlimited checks is if you get it wrong and you go, I'm okay with that. We shouldn't be okay with that. The work required, you're going to see for all grades except for a 0, you have to show work. So if Eli, my oldest son, turns in his math assignment on big ideas and has 100% on it, but he has no work shown, I am not giving him a grade. I'm saying his homework is incomplete. He has got to show me how he got his answer. Otherwise, him doing his work at home, I don't know if mom, dad, sister, brother, neighbor, cat, dog, who did their homework for him. He has to show me how he got an answer. In the grade book, your final grades, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. There's no E in that, or E and G. There's only A, B, C, D, F. In the grade book, it's weighted. What that means is this daily homework that you can get all the help with, you can get assistance, you can check your answers, that's only worth 20% of your grade. So what that means is if I put 10 grades in, 2 of them are from your daily grade. 80% is your academic. That's going to be your test, quiz, and projects. That is where you are going to do this all on your own. You do not get me to help you. You do not get unlimited checks. Your test is showcasing your understanding. I always love tests because it's my chance to show off what I know. Now, let's say you take a test. Everyone's always worried that they do poor on it. We can retake tests. We'll see that. Late work. I forgot I had to talk about this one. What I do for late work is I will just mark it in the grade book. If you did not turn something in when it's due, I'll mark on Infinite Campus that it is late. It flags it. You see it. Your parents can see it. It's a good little reminder. It does count as a 0. However, I will not take any points off. If it was due Monday and for some reason you don't turn it until Friday, I will give you full credit. I'll go back in the grade book. I'll leave it that it was marked, that it was turned in late, but I'm going to give you full credit. 3 out of 3 points turned in, but it was late. because that's going to be a discussion we'll have at the end of the chapter and even end of the unit about how many late works we're having and what we can do to avoid that. But I do not penalize you for late work. However, I can only accept it up to the test. So when Eli comes to class, he has 2 missing assignments. He starts taking his test. I will go into the grade book and I'm going to change any of his late work to a 0. And I will put a comment that says, did not complete. So if he comes back the next day after his test and goes, hey, I finished those 2 assignments, I'm going to be like, I'm sorry, they're already in as a 0. So it is important that you make sure everything is turned in before we take a test. Now, talking about test retakes. You can take any test up to 2 weeks after the original test, but I've had students that take the test, I hand it back, they get like a 50, and they go, oh, can I retake it today? No, you're not just going to magically do better because you took it a second time. So in order to retake a test, you have to make sure all your daily homework was complete from that chapter. Now, so like if Eli was missing 2 lessons, he's going to go back and complete them. It won't give him a grade, but he has to show that he understands what to do in that lesson because it's on the test. He also needs to go onto his test, and on a separate piece of paper, anything he missed, he's going to rework on a separate piece of paper. Now, most time on a test, I'll tell you what the answer is. So he just has to show work, how do I find that answer? Then the last thing is he just has to come meet with me. Or she, I should say. But when you come meet with me, you're going to say, hey, I'm ready for my retake. I'm going to look in the grade book. Yep, all your daily work was turned in. Let's look at the test. You missed these 4 questions. Okay, I see you got the right answer. You're going to explain to me, this is what I did wrong. This is how you do it correct. If you can do that, I will give you a test and you can retake it. Zoom meetings. So important thing, we'll do a lot of these. Very important that you are on time, because if you're late, you're going to miss some key information and we're not going to be able to back up and waste other people's time because you are not there on time. So we need to be on time and you need to dress appropriate. Even though you're at home or doing something on the web camera, you should be dressed like you would be for school. Find a quiet place, distraction free as much as possible. We know at home it's kind of crazy. Last year when I was doing my Zooms, my boys jumped on almost every one of mine, especially my youngest. But you try to keep it as distraction-free as possible. It is important that you're muted. Your audio will be on mute unless you're given permission to be talking. I had one girl that, she had a lot of people at home. It was always loud because they're doing their stuff. So she was always muted until she needed to talk with me. It really, really helps. If you need to say something, you just have to click the raise your hand. A little blue hand shows up on the screen, or you can type in the class chat if I have that available. And when I see that and I get to a good stopping point, we'll stop and address your question. Always make sure you have paper and writing utensil. Once again, we'll have our final notebook, and you're going to use your name as your Zoom. I don't want to see nicknames and I don't want to see other little features. We need to know who you are. Also, I ask that your video is on. That way I know you're paying attention and seeing where you're at. If for some reason you need to have it off because of something in the background, that's fine. We'll make adaptations. All right, so here's our Schoology. We should be going through it. You'll see one of the most important parts is updates. When you click on the updates for me in Schoology, you'll see where I do every week. I'll do an introductory video that takes 2-3 minutes just to explain what's happening for the week and what your assignments are. Also, if we have any important things that we have to tell you, announcements, we'll put them there. Materials is a very important one. When you click on materials, that is where all our folders will be. So all your work that you need will be found in there. And student help, when you click on that link, you get something like this. So if you're having any trouble with technology, they have, if it's Infinite Campus, How To, Adobe, Google, they'll have lots of things there for you. In Schoology, things that we can change is our profile picture. So if you click on the person's name and you change your profile picture, we'd ask that it's something that is you. I don't want like a picture of a dragon because that's not what you look like. I know you guys will do okay with that because you're better with technology than I am. Notifications, it is good to have our notifications turned on. So when I update something in our course, you get a notifications to be looking at that or comment on your post. I don't need everything on, but you need to look at what's going to help you stay organized. There is a Schoology app. You can put it on your phone. The only thing to remind you is you cannot do everything from your phone, from the app. But you are able to use it. I would like it just because it helped me with my organization if I'm away and have to look something up. But when I have to turn in my assignments and things, I need to use my laptop. Communication protocol. So this is very important. We will be communicating a lot in email. When you do email, I ask that you use email for school purposes. I don't want you emailing your friend, which we catch sometimes when we have to have talks, and you just text your friend and go, hi, and that's all you're saying. Or, oh my gosh, I'm so bored. Okay, those are like little private conversations. We don't need our email for that. Email is going to be something that's important. We need to keep our email pretty organized and cleaned up. We will email quite a bit, so you need to make sure every single day you're checking your email. My email is sisselr@parkhill.k12.mo.us. The most important part is the beginning. Sissel R. My first name is Ross, so it ends in an R for my email. If you go to type this in, there is a Bridget Sissel, an Eli Sissel, a Jude Sissel, a Bennett Sissel, and there's another Sissel. I don't know who they are. Everyone's email is the same. My wife's email is Sissel B. During last quarter, fourth quarter, I was helping Bennett with his email because they hadn't really used it in elementary, and we opened it up. So his email is Sissel B-E. I think his is B-E because there's already a Sissel B for my wife. And when we opened up his email, we found out that he had been getting emails from my students and my parents. And I never got them because they weren't sent to me. But I had a number of parents and students that were emailing Bennett trying to ask me math questions. So please make sure you're emailing Sissel R. You're emailing Ross Sissel. My number here is 359-6334. Usually that's when parents are calling. My biggest thing is if you call, please make sure you leave a voicemail and go kind of slow because it's sometimes hard to hear the recordings. If you leave a voicemail, please make sure you say who you are, if you're a parent, who's your child, and then leave me your number and do it slow. It's hard for me sometimes. So if I'd be leaving the message and I would say my phone number is 359-6334. The reason we do this is, like I showed you before, I'm at a baseball field a lot. If you leave a voicemail, it will show up on my email. And a lot of times I can call you from the baseball field if it's just a simple, easy question. And I've done that quite a bit. So, calendar and pacing guide. I will be sharing that with you as we move through. Try and not give you any surprises in math. I'll just tell you where we are at in math and what our goal is to get done. I will have this every week in the folder. It kind of gives you an overview of what your week should look like. So right here, it tells you what week we're on, our chapter, what our lessons are, the 2 lessons we're doing, and our timing on this. All of the learning goals and before class. For us, for our hybrid students, before class, my goal is you need to watch my welcome video that will be in updates. Just tells you about the week, 2-3 minutes. And then you're going to go into Ed Puzzle. This one says Google Slides because it's a little bit different. This is from Miss Peterson. But for me, you're going to go into Ed Puzzle and watch lesson 1.1, and then you're going to watch lesson 1.2. You're going to watch on Ed Puzzle and fill out your notes. Before you come to class, the goal is you have your notes done. During class, I'm going to fill in any questions we have from the notes. We'll do some activities. We'll do some projects in class to further develop your understanding. In class, I probably will give you some time. But outside of class, your homework will be the homework, which is found in Big Ideas. To make this very simple for you, for me in math class, the biggest 2 things are for every lesson, you're going to go to Ed Puzzle online and watch a video to complete the notes. And then 2, you're going to go to Big Ideas and do the homework showing you understand what you did in the notes. That is everything. I know this took a while. Appreciate you going through this, making sure if you have any questions, let me know. Email Sissel R for really, really cool. And my number is 359-6334. Thank you, and we'll work with you a little bit more later.